I gotta say, I am super overly excited for what's to come in the next few episodes because we got the Tenjinku versus Toman episode, the beginning of this battle. And to just clear it off without explaining it later, the fighting animation is fine. There are a few moments that I will take note on, but mostly it's a few sound effects with it looking away from the fight, but there are moments where it shows actual fighting that it is pretty freaking cool. But let's start off with one of the key points I took notice on. It's just before the fight, the Tenjinku members kind of just bantering and arguing, kind of giving out their personalities, which I like. Gives the villains side a bit of how they act, with the clown that is the ex ninth generation Black Dragon leader kind of being honest that he basically had people fight for him. So it basically is a slight foreshadowing of what's going to happen next, and then eventually kind of having them discuss on that Toman basically are not coming, only to be proven wrong. And even Kisaki was kind of like expecting Toman to arrive because he knows Takemichi. But we also get a bit about Kucho and Izana, that they were childhood friends, so it basically cements their bond. And then we go into Takemichi being the badass he is, coming in with his crew, and just showing that he's ready for a fucking fight. But there's also something else to point out, is Izana, that he wants Mikey to suffer bitterly. Basically showing the implications of how future Mikey ended up the way he did and wanting to die. So we definitely have Shion basically kind of start off the ceremonial fight and mocking Toman, since most of their main core people are not even there. Mikey and Draken are clearly depressed as hell. We have Mitsuya and Smiley just injured. And obviously Baji, who was in the big fight against ninth generation Black Dragon, is, well, currently dead, as well as Kazutoru still being imprisoned. So yeah, basically the main players are not there. And yet I like what happens next, because we have Takemichi who decides that he's going to fight this guy. As it's funny because ninth generation Black Dragon leader versus 11th generation Black Dragon leader, only for Pet to kind of walk and be like, no, you're the acting president of Toman, you stay back as I take care of it, and just knocks his shit out. Like, this dude is such a joke that, I mean, it's a little laughable how much shit he thinks he is. Even Izana later on kind of calls him out that he didn't lose because Mikey was strong, he lost because he's fucking weak as shit. But anyway, that's the first point, is that Pe shows to be a badass, and it's proven because not only is he beating the shit out of many Tenjinku members, but he also got the attention of Izana. If Izana, someone who's Mikey level, challenges you to a fight, you can guarantee that you've gained his attention, which is saying a lot. That's the first point. The second point is during the fight, because we have Takemichi and Chifuyu realizing that, yeah, they're kind of outwitted at this point because there's too many of them compared to how many Toman members there are. And yet their goal is, it's not to necessarily win, it is in a degree, but they need to get to Kisaki first. And we have Takemichi's 4 friends showing that they have some skill. I have made a video of how strong Takemichi is throughout the series, which includes Tenjinku arc. We definitely have seen that Takemichi has grown, like, really strong, but we also don't really see much about the others, and it's nice to see that the others are somewhat holding their own. They're not strong at all, and they can't really fight like Takemichi, and yet they're still determined to fight, which is what I like. And it's kind of funny, going into the third point, is Chifuyu versus Mochi, because what is funny is that Takemichi is pushing through, he gets stopped by this giant behemoth, and just as Takemichi's friends are basically going to be the ones to get their asses kicked first against him, Chifuyu comes running in and knocks the shit out of him. And then we have the twins basically going to fight Angry and Hakai. And yeah, and then Takamichi versus Kakucho. And both of them talking. I still do not like the fact that he just gave away the whole traitor thing. Though it goes in line with what Kakucho's character is in the manga. That they both want to save Izana. Slightly different on the way they did it, but it's still the same goal of they don't want Izana to go a dark path. So that's what Takamichi kind of puzzled together. But they're in the middle of war, so they can't really chit-chat about it. They have to fight. So yeah, Takamichi's not going to one-punch him this time. And lastly, we have Inupe just challenging the traitorous 6th Division captain and eventually having to fight Koko, and even bringing up someone named Akane, which is related to Koko and Inupe's backstory. So I can't wait for that being the last point, being that backstory reveal, because that is definitely happening next episode. If I were to say, I just pretty much am in love with this season. Last season was amazing because it gave Takamichi his chance to shine without Mikey overlapping. And we still are getting that, but we will have a Mikey badass moment soon. But let's just say I'm just loving the direction Takamichi has gone. It just shows that even though he's the weakest motherfucker, he's still in it to win.